Hello, nangangating mata ko. Pero I'll try to answer the questions dun sa given na tanong ni ma'am dito sa GC using my recent knowledge about this, and I will be assisted by my lecturer. Kasi in case may di ko alam. Diba? So, question number 1 is yung, is it possible for a point mass to have zero moment of inertia? Yun. Explain. Why? So, una, what is point of mass? I mean point mass, sorry. Yung point mass is, well, according dun sa explanation ni ma'am, is a theoretical concept na ginagamit sa physics wherein yung ginagamit mo yung word na, o yung, ginagamit mo yung word na lang, yung word na point mass to describe yung object kung saan yung mass niya is hindi nagmamatter or negligible kasi masyado siyang maliit compared dun sa object kung saan nasan siya. For example, meron kang carousel, di ba? And then sa carousel na yon, meron kang batang nakasakay sa carousel. Yung bata na yon would be your point mass. Yung mass niya would be negligible kasi masyado siyang maliit. Masyadong maliit yung mass niya compared sa mass kung saan siya nakalagay. So when you're measuring or when you're talking about point mass, yun yung bata on a carousel. Okay? So that's parang yung magiging reference point mo when you're depende kung nasan ka kasi yung carousel is a disc. So parang kinukuha mo yung moment of inertia ng disc and yung bata yung point of mass mo. Gets? Okay. So, ano yung sagot? Ano yung tanong kasi? Wait lang. Is it possible for a point mass to have zero moment of inertia? Yes. Why? Kasi if yung ikaw yung point mass, okay, possible kang magkaroon ng zero moment of inertia, which is yung parang yung rotation mo, if I placed you in the center of the rotation. Or in short, pag nilagay kita exactly on the rotational axis. Okay? Basahin natin yung sagot ko. Yes, it is possible for a point of mass to have zero. Sinulat ko point of mass. Point mass to have zero moment of inertia. The moment of inertia is defined as a measure of an object's resistance to rotational motion about an axis or yung axis niya. If the point of mass is located exactly on the axis of rotation, or dun sa center, the distance becomes zero. Therefore, for a point mass that is rotating about an axis that passes through its center, the moment of inertia will indeed be zero. So parang imaginein mo na if nasa surface or nasa parang may distance ka from the axis of rotation, ikaw yung point mass. If may distance ka from the axis of rotation, meron kang moment of inertia. Ang moment of inertia mo is defined by how far you are from the axis of rotation. Okay. So, ayun, tama nga. If mas malapit ka sa axis of rotation, wait lang. If mas malapit ka sa axis of rotation, mas mababa yung moment of inertia mo. If mas malayo ka sa axis of rotation, mas mataas yung moment of inertia mo. So, from mataas, palapit ka sa axis of rotation, pababa. If you're exactly on the axis of rotation, you have zero moment of inertia. Okay? So, ayun, yung example, yun. Kasi nga, di ba, the farther you are, the higher moment of inertia, mas mahirap kang galawin. The closer you are, the mas madali kang galawin kasi you have low moment of inertia. Okay. Question number 2. Napiyok ako dun. Suppose you have two identical discs, A and B. Discs. Ano yung discs? Bilog siya. Ganun yung kuko. Bilog siya. Ay, ito pala yun. So, bilog siya and flat. Yun yung disc. So, if we drill a large hole through the center of disc A, which disc has the greater moment of inertia about the axis through the center and perpendicular to the disc? Explain. Okay, so, meron kang hole. Yung hole na yun is nasa gitna ng disc A. Let's base doon sa sagot ko. Ang sagot ko is that merong higher moment of inertia ang disc B. Because, nung binutasan mo yung disc A, binawasan mo siya ng mass. Nabawasan siya ng mass. Kasi tinanggal mo yung gitna. So, mas maraming mass ngayon ang disc B kay disc A. Ngayon, if tinanggalan mo siya ng mass, maapektuhan ang mass distribution dun sa disc A. Ibig sabihin, ang moment of inertia niya is magdi-decrease. Ang sa disc B naman, same lang. So, what does that mean? Mass effectively contributes to the resistance to rotational acceleration. Kasi ang ibang tawag sa moments of inertia is rotational motion? No, rotational inertia. Ang ibang tawag sa motion of inertia is rotational inertia. If you decrease your mass, you contribute your resistance or you contribute dun sa you contribute to the difference na mangyayari dun sa rotational inertia mo. And yung kawalan mo ng mass effectively decreases yung resistance mo dun sa rotational acceleration. Yung acceleration naman, iba yun. Kasi acceleration kapag ginulong mo sila, yung difference nun kapag ginulong mo yung may butas sa gitna compared dun sa may walang butas sa gitna. In conclusion, disc B na walang butas sa gitna has greater moment of inertia kesa kay disc A na mayroong malaking butas sa gitna niya. This is primarily due, binabasa ko na lang yung sagot ko. This is primarily due to the reduction in mass shifting on the and the shifting of the center of mass for disc A. Ang center ni disc A is not the same center as disc B anymore. Okay? Therefore, ayun, si disc B merong mas malaking moment of inertia about the axis through the center and perpendicular to the disc. So, parang isipin mo na lang na if meron kang bakit yung mga gulong may butas sa gitna? Kasi mas madaling i-maneuver, mas madaling i-manipulate yung speed kasi mas magaan or mas less yung moment of inertia ng gulong na solid ay ng gulong na may butas sa gitna rather sa gulong na may na purong ano lang, like pure, literal na pure ano lang siya. So, yun, medyo kita mo yung difference nun. Ito, probably the easiest to understand is yung question number 3. Sungki talaga kapangipin ko. Number 3, will the moment of inertia increase or decrease in this situation? Explain. Ito. Situation is a figure skater extending their arms outwards during a spin. Well, hindi mo na kailangan maging figure skater. Pwede mo itong gawin habang umikot ka sa upuan. Ngayon, mapapansin mo yung mga examples na kapag umiikot sila sa upuan and then meron silang weights, magsa-start sila na ganyan. If ilalapit nila yung weight sa katawan nila, bibilis yung ikot nila. Why? Kasi the closer you are to the rotational axis or the axis of rotation, the closer you are, the less moment of inertia you feel or you encounter. So, ibig sabihin, kasi kapag less moment of inertia, less moment of inertia, the easier or the less force you need to rotate. So, kapag umiikot ka and then in-outstretch mo yung kamay mo, you are distributing mass farther to the axis of rotation. Kaya magi-increase yung inertia and magi-increase yung moment of inertia and babagal ka. Slower spin. And sinabi ko rin dito, adhering to the conservation of angular momentum. Because, di ko pa gets yung angular momentum.